In this video, I travel on a business class train from Kuala Lumpur to Butterworth, and then a ferry from Butterworth Station to the island of Penang. What incredibly interesting architecture. Wow. This is the Kuala Lumpur railway station, so not KL Sentral. And in this video, I'm going to take a train from Kuala Lumpur railway station to Penang, Butterworth, Georgetown. And actually the train goes to Butterworth, the ferry then goes to Georgetown. I've come a few days early to the railway station here to buy my ticket. As I've heard, sometimes they can sell out a few days ahead of time, so I figure I'll get it right now and then I know that I'll have it. But an important note here, so the ETS train that goes to Penang, Butterworth, goes from KL Sentral. That's where it starts, but also goes through this Kuala Lumpur railway station. And I'm staying in Bukit Bintang. If you're staying in Bukit Bintang, if you're staying at KLCC, if you're staying in Chinatown, this railway station is most likely closer to where you're staying, and KL Sentral is of course just big and busy and chaotic, whereas here not so much. You can get a grab. Here's a grab, pick up and drop off. So it's an old railway station, but instead of like a million people running around like KL Sentral, I figured this will be just a lot easier. Like I can get here and it's not going to be chaotic like KL Sentral. So that's my plan, so we'll see how that works out. If you do want to take the exact same train from KL Sentral, all the information in this video is still valid. Just of course make sure you purchase your ticket from KL Sentral. Yeah, just a cool old railway station. And 2 seconds after I enter the door, I can already see the train. See if I can't get a ticket. Butterworth is where I'm going, although not today. And I have researched, and there is, I believe, 12 trains a day, all throughout the day. And here's where I get a ticket, and they are on break. So I've been told you can buy in this machine as well. Looks like that whole first train is all completely unavailable. Well, that's unfortunate. So I ended up getting my ticket. I had to kind of decide whether I wanted to go on the exact train that I wanted to go on to, or not go business class and go on a different train. So that's what I ended up doing. I purchased the business class ticket on the following train, so I'll get there at 5:45 instead of 3:15, something like that. So both are still good. So that ended up the purchasing the ticket part working out pretty well. So again, I'm going from Kuala Lumpur to Butterworth, and Kuala Lumpur is not KL Sentral. They're two different stations, so you kind of got to decide what might be better for you. But for me, I'm picking this Kuala Lumpur train station. KL Sentral is close to Brickfields, but for a lot of other places in the city, I think this train station might actually be the closer one to where you're staying. So check that out. If you need to take Grab to this train station, you can. The one thing to note, or one of the things to note, is there is no MRT or monorail train that comes to this station. So while it is closer to Bukit Bintang and a lot of areas in Kuala Lumpur, there's no direct train that comes right here. So that is something to note. You may have to take Grab here, or I actually took a train to Pasar. It's a two-word, I'll put it on the screen. Pasar Seni, and then walked over here, and it was about a 10-minute walk through the not the kind of nicest, like pretty busy industrial kind of overpass type areas. So that is something to note. While this train station is well located, it's not right on a train line as far as I know. And that's kind of made me chuckle. It's not on a train line, even though it's a train station. It is on train lines, but it's more on like long distance type of trains, not the local like monorail or MRT type of trains. And as I had heard, the tickets can sell out. So while I did end up buying a ticket, it wasn't exactly the ticket that I wanted. And let's see, 1560, I'm here 3 days before my train goes. So something to keep in mind is you probably, if you can, want to either go online, because I heard you could purchase tickets online, although I like to do things in person and see where I'm going and ask questions and that type of thing. But yeah, so 3 days ahead of time, and all the business class in the train that I wanted were sold out. So I just chose the next train. So I'm going 2 hours, 2.5 hours approximately later than I would have gone. So keep that in mind. They say the tickets do sell out, and I'm guessing especially in business class maybe, and indeed that is my experience, but I did end up getting a ticket, so all is good. Just a few days later, and I'm back at Kuala Lumpur Station for my trip to Georgetown, Penang, Butterworth Station. Let's see how it goes. About 25 minutes before the train is expected to arrive, you're able to enter the platform. Definitely think I made the right choice coming to Kuala Lumpur Station instead of KL Sentral. Here it was just so easy. There's just like a few dozen people kind of going on the trains, so it's just very kind of calm and relaxed, whereas KL Sentral would be anything but that. So yeah, definitely a good decision, I think, to come to Kuala Lumpur Railway. KL Sentral is the first stop on this route, and I think it's only like 5 minutes from here.
doors are opening. Mind your step.
Arrived at Butterworth Station, 4 hours right on the dot. It left on time and it arrived right on time. Now it is time to go and find the ferry to get onto the island. So the ferry is about a 10-minute walk from the train station, and you can just tap a credit card instead of buying a ticket, and it just lets you in through the gate right where those X's are. Just tap a credit card and it lets you in, and it was 2 ringgit, so 50 cents. I got off the train 20 minutes ago and I'm already on the ferry. Well, that was a super enjoyable and efficient travel day. Both the train to Butterworth and the ferry from Butterworth to Georgetown were quick, efficient, on time, comfortable. Really 10 out of 10. That was great. It's like a 4-hour train ride and like a 10 to 15 minute ferry ride with about a 10-minute walk from the train to the ferry. So just beautiful on all accounts. Highly recommended. Thank you for watching the video. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you got some value from the video, and we will see you very soon. Have a great day.